Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome out to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the running of the Southern Motorsports Truck Series. I have a pretty big field out here tonight with 30 trucks. They are rounding out their drivers meeting at the moment, and I see we already have Southsea Nation in the chat. Nice to see you guys in force out there. And let's go through our points standings at the moment. Brad Hicks leads the points in the Southern Motorsport Truck Series. They are 8 races in, so this will be race number 9 for him. Billy Howard sits in second, Paul Zota third, Shane Pippola in fourth, AJ Hamill in fifth, Rob Whitmore in sixth, William Lee in seventh, Kurt Davidson eighth, Jeff Glockner ninth, and Stephen Bird rounds out the top 10 for points here at the Southern Motorsport Truck Series. And do expect to see these guys to put on a great race. A lot of green flag racing here. Can they top GAC's cautionless race at Daytona last night? We will have to see, but for now we still have roughly 4 minutes left in practice. Not sure if Paul's going to let these guys go onto the track before they go to qualify. It is a solo qualify, so we will definitely see some consistent times between a lot of drivers. Not sure if we have anybody who's disconnected just yet. We do have roughly 7 drivers, it looks like, who are currently not on the track, but they are in a driver's meeting. They may have decided to get out of the truck for the meeting, or have just decided to wait out till qualifying before they go back on the track. So, drivers to watch tonight. One moment, they are going back on the track. Alright, let's look at our drivers to watch tonight. The most wins right now at Southern Motorsports is with the 89 of Shane Pippola. Shane is out there on the track warming up for tonight's race. And the most top 5s is the 86 of Brad Hicks, who is also on the track. Let's take a look at his truck tonight. And we saw some of those guys who weren't on their trucks coming back onto the track. Now we're showing our fastest time with Joe Mitchell. He's not on the track yet. Ryan Gemmel, Stephen Hall, who's a newcomer to Southern Motorsport, and Shane Atkins. And I was just informed by Paul Zoda there is no caution clock tonight. So with that, we'll see how far these guys can push it. And I didn't get a word with anybody on how many laps they could get in before they have to go to the pits tonight. So we'll have to see what their pit strategies are. We saw some pretty interesting pit strategies last night at Daytona. So I imagine we'll see some here tonight at Las Vegas. It is a shorter track, so they should be able to get a pretty good amount of laps in before they have to go to the pits. As we have roughly 40 seconds left in practice, and Shane Pippola did take over the fastest time of practice. And it does look like we did see, I don't remember who it was because he actually put a faster time up. Well, we did see one of those drivers that we hadn't seen on the track. Shane Atkins did come back on the track. So now I believe we only have 2 who did not come out after the drivers meeting. Or actually 3 between Joe Mitchell, Ryan Gemmel, and Stephen Hall. We'll see if those guys all take times as we're now in qualifying. We should start seeing some times pretty quickly here, as it's not a big track. It's kind of a mid-range track. Some will say it's short. I would say it's a mid-range track, but as we wait for our first times to come in, I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by and taking a look at the race tonight, either on Twitch, YouTube, or Beam. We're live on all 3 platforms tonight. As we're waiting for those first times to come in, this looks like Stephen Bird will get one of the first times tonight. I don't believe that was his first lap yet, so still waiting for our first times to come in. There we go, we're getting a time now. We've got AJ Hamill, Jim Locking, Todd Kirk being the top 3 at the moment. Rob Whitmore is going to move up to second, and David Howard Jr. is going to move, yeah, David Howard Jr. moved up, but AJ Bunch. Hold on 1 second. Yep, AJ Bunch will push his way into 3rd. Brad Hicks now moving up to 2nd, pushing. And look at that, Southsea Nation now in 2nd. Bob Skinner in 1st. AJ Hamill 3rd. Keith Haney's now going to push ahead of Joshua Southsea. And AJ Bunch is going to push ahead to 2nd. And AJ Bunch just 1,000th behind Bob Skinner. And Brad Hicks will actually now beat Bob Skinner's time. So we got a close front group here, as 25 of our 30 drivers have taken time at this point. As the 46 of Shane Atkins has taken his time, so we're just waiting on a few more drivers to get their times in before we go to grid, or they may decide to start it from the back. Daniel Haney is on the track. just coming on to start his qualifying laps. And we're still missing the 83 of Ryan Gemmel, the 13 of Ray Williams, the 43 of Stephen Hall, and the 53 of Lupe Gonzalez. Thank you, Roger. We've been working hard on getting stuff set, right? And hopefully it goes all smooth tonight. We've had a couple hiccups here and there during broadcast. We are having a new overlay put together by Jason Allison. Thanks to him for allowing us to use the Fox broadcasting overlay for tonight. And make sure to check him out at ibog.co. As Daniel Haney is getting his first times in, he's going to go to 24th. And I believe this will be his final lap. We'll see where Daniel Haney will start the race. And he's going to bump up to 14th. So we got 26 drivers taking time out of the 30 registered for the event tonight. And as long as this holds, congrats to Brad Hicks. His last pole win was on June 21st. So this is a great start to him. A great start to the race for him, as he hasn't had a pole win in nearly 3 months. No problem. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the race. We do have a couple Lazy Days drivers in here tonight. As we're going to the grid, Brad Hicks did get the pole tonight. He is on the track already, so we'll take a look at the grid brought to you by iBog. Brad Hicks will start on the pole with a 30.065. Bob Skinner comes in second tonight with a 30.067. AJ Bunch, a rookie to Southern Motorsports, will start in third. Keith Haney, another rookie to Southern Motorsport, will start in fourth. Al Smith Jr. will start fifth. Joshua Salcy, sixth. AJ Hamill, seventh. David Howard Jr. in eighth. Joe Mitchell will start ninth. Adam Baker in 10th. Billy Howard in 11th. Shane Pippola in 12th. Lynn McNeese 13th. Daniel Haney 14th. Kurt Davidson will start 15th. Todd Kirkwood, one of those Lazy Days drivers, will start in 16th. Eric Talent will start 17th. Jim Locking will start 18th. Paul Zoda, the owner of Southern Motorsports, will start back in 19th. Rob Whitmore will start in 20th. David Gainforth will start 21st. Stephen Bird, 22nd. James Haney will start 23rd. William Lee, 24th. Shane Atkins will start back in 25th tonight. Jay Dubuque will start in 26th. Our first driver not to take a time, Lupe Gonzalez, will start in 27th. Ray Williams will start 28th. Stephen Hall, a newcomer to Southern Motorsports, will start in 29th. And Ryan Gemmel will round out the field tonight, starting in 30th. As we are on the pace lap now. Now we've seen in the past couple weeks, we've seen a lot of drivers prefer that top line. I don't know if that top line is going to work here for a lot of these drivers, as I think we'll see them go to the bottom line as quick as they can. I do know in the turns, though, a lot of drivers prefer that middle line, so it'll be interesting to see how things shake out on the first couple laps. And I know we've seen Bob Skinner time and time again try so hard to get that pole position and ends up coming in second to start the race. So it'll be definitely interesting to see if he can push ahead here. And I believe the pace car has dipped in. They will bring him to the start-finish line. And the green flag is out. Brad Hicks will bring him to the line for the start of the Southern Motorsports Truck Series race at Las Vegas. And so far they are... Brad Hicks is going to take the lead and stay in the lead. As we're already seeing Bob Skinner drop back, I don't think that top line is going to be the place to be tonight. So far, the battle has been behind Brad Hicks. Let's go ahead and take a look behind him. As he's got AJ Bunches back here with a whole pack of trucks. Bob Skinner on the outside, AJ Bunch on the bottom. And Bob Skinner's got Keith Haney behind him. And Bob is actually going to pass AJ Bunch and go to that bottom line. So Bob will drop into second. And that top line is starting to form a little bit and get some runs. Now we're 3 wide on the front stretch, but it does look like Keith Haney is going to go past Bob Skinner. And Joshua Sousey right behind Keith Haney. Now we do have one truck ahead of these guys. Brad Hicks still out front. Pretty good distance on these guys right now. And I have him at a 0.4 at the moment. And AJ Bunch is still stuck on that bottom line, battling with Keith Haney and Joshua Sousey. Bunch has been able to hold in there. Gives Sousey a little bit of a checkup as he starts to drop back. Keith Haney's probably going to drop in front of him here. And it does look like he will drop in front of him. Now Sousey's on the outside of Bunch. We'll look back with our leader, Brad Hicks, who has... his lead has fallen off a little bit. He's got Keith Haney working on him. He was at a 0.4 when AJ Bunch was in second. Now Keith Haney's got some open air, and he has cut that down to a 0.2. And pretty much through the field, we're going single file. We got a little bit of a battle back here. I believe that's with AJ Hamill, Billy Howard, Shane Pippola, and Adam Baker. As pretty much the rest of the field is single file. These are the main battles right now. It seems to be in the middle of the top 10. And we did have 3 drivers not take to the field. The 70 of Rob Whitmore, the 83 of Ryan Gimmel, and the 43 of Stephen Hall all elected not to take the grid tonight and did not come onto the field. So we've got 27 trucks out here. Pretty good sized field. 7 laps into 115 here at Las Vegas. And actually, this has Rob Whitmore on the track. He is 7 laps down. I'm not sure if Rob decided to go to the pits. Let's see if we can see him on the track. As Rob's not even on the track, it shows a speed for him. I'm wondering if he is blinking out and nobody can see him on the track. Or if his throughput fell through. As Adam Baker is trying to make that bottom line work. back here with Adam Baker, as he is on the bottom line with Billy Howard on his outside. And we do got another battle back here. This is the 89 with Shane Pippola, as that one will start to go single file. Let's take a look back there. As Shane's on the inside with Kurt Davidson behind him, and he's got the 54 of Joe Mitchell, the 9 of David Howard Jr., and they have another truck that fell in behind him. I believe that's the 37 of Todd Kirkwood. And actually behind them, we've got an even bigger pack. Let's see if we can get a look back with this pack back here, led by Paul Zoda. The 05 of Eric Talent is on his outside. And then behind him, you have the 82 of Bob Skinner, who's fallen back to 17th after starting second tonight. The 101 of David Gainforth just passed him up. The 84 of Lynn McNeese, and the 11 of Daniel Haney right behind him. And we haven't seen, let's see if we can flip through here to the 53 of Lupe Gonzalez. We haven't seen Lupe at a Tuesday night race in a while. Great to see him back on the track tonight competing with these guys. Lupe is always a fierce competitor and usually finds himself near the front. We'll see if he can get up there tonight. Let's go back up front with our leader, who is in a battle himself. And Keith Haney will actually pass him for the lead. Doesn't look like he holds on to it to get the lap led, but he will take over going into corner number 1. And Joshua Sousey in third, waiting to try to make his move on the 86 of Brad Hicks. Keith Haney will get his first lap led tonight. The only other driver to lead laps, Brad Hicks with 13. So that is our first lead change of the night. And Brad Hicks in danger of losing second to Joshua Sousey. Sousey moves into second, and he's got to get down as AJ Bunch is now trying to make a move. And the 96 of Al Smith Jr., who we haven't seen in a while, is going to get into an accident. 22 of AJ Bunch got into him. We're still green though, as they're going to get split by the rest of the field coming through. And I'm pretty surprised that they were able to keep control and stay green here tonight. As that 96 machine's got a ton of damage there now. It's a tough break for Al Smith Jr. We were just about to say that it's his first time on the track for Southern Motorsports in a while. And we got the 99 of Paul Zoda blinking a little bit. But now the 96 of Al Smith Jr. is battling with the 53 of Lupe Gonzalez. And Joshua Sousey is still in a battle here with the 86 of Brad Hicks. Keith Haney has put about 0.3 ahead, or put a 0.3 gap behind him and Joshua Sousey. So Sousey's got to worry about losing it to Brad Hicks now, who is right on his bumper and wants to get back to the front. We got another pretty good battle with the 37 of Todd Kirkwood. as he's getting ready to make the pass on the 54 of Joe Mitchell. And it looks like he does make the clean pass. And actually goes behind, loses a position to Joe Mitchell now. So he was able to pass him in turn number 1, and Joe Mitchell looks like took his inside, was able to gain it back. As we're seeing a lot of drivers stick together, this is a pretty good sized field for these guys, so imagine we'll see a lot of pack racing tonight, which is good for Southern Motorsports. And we'll go back up with Keith Haney to see what's going on up front. As Keith Haney's being consistent tonight, he's not losing a lot of time, but not gaining a lot of time, with Joshua Sousey and Brad Hicks behind him. And behind Brad Hicks is AJ Hamill, who's hanging on. As we're seeing Keith Haney hold on to that 0.3 second gap. There's another truck getting ready to catch up to these guys, the 48 of Adam Baker, who's kind of by himself at the moment. Not sure how much the draft is going to affect the trucks here out here tonight, as we're seeing Sousey lose a little bit more time to Keith Haney. Go back to the 41 of Kurt Davidson, who's running in 7th at the moment. He's kind of the front of the second pack, but the 9 of David Howard Jr. is not that far ahead of him. Take a look back around the field. We do see Rob Whitmore on the track now. He is 14 laps down, 14 laps down, but we do have 28 trucks on the field right now. So it's great racing out here tonight. And these green flag pit stops, the first round of green flag pit stops, is going to make a huge difference for the top 5. Let's go back out with Keith Haney, who is up front, as he's got a 0.6 lead on Joshua Sousey now. As our top 5 at the moment is Keith Haney, Joshua Sousey, Brad Hicks, AJ Hamill, and Adam Baker. And it does look like Adam Baker went down to the wall for a second, or went down to the inside pretty quickly. Does lose a lot of time, and now David Howard Jr. is going to battle with him to try to get that top 5, and David does take it over for the moment and will be scored as 5th that lap. So Adam Baker moves back to 6th. Take a look back at some pack racing. The 54 of Joe Mitchell. Back here battling with... there's some good distance between them, but he's got the 89 of Shane Pippola behind him. And then behind him you got the 05 of Eric Talent. And then you have to go back 2.3 seconds to Lynn McNeese, who has David Gainforth and a bunch of trucks behind him. David Gainforth, Daniel Haney, Jim Locking, Ray Williams, Lupe Gonzalez, Billy Howard, Paul Zoda, AJ Bunch is back here in 20th now, making his way back up the field. James Haney back here. The 82 of Bob Skinner, who started second tonight, now back in 19th. The 14 of Stephen Bird back here. 37 of Todd Kirkwood. 46 of Shane Atkins. And then we have a 4.6 second gap back to the 65 of Jay Dubuque and William Lee. And I'm not sure if Eric Talent is in the pits now. We did take it down pit road, but we're going to start to see some pit stops here. Let's go ahead and go out front with Keith Haney. See when he decides to come down pit road. And he is elected to stay out one more lap at least, as we're now on lap 31. This race is going by quickly as we haven't had one caution yet. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break and come back to the race. You'll be able to see the race live continuously through the commercial break. And we're back. Keith Haney has yet to go down pit road, and does he come down this time? He does not. 33 laps down, and Keith Haney is still out front. We saw a couple drivers come down pit road already. The 48 of Adam Baker sits back in 23rd now. The 96 of Al Smith Jr. has come down pit road. The 05 of Eric Talent, and we're having a couple more drivers come down pit road, as I believe we see the 37 of Todd Kirkwood getting ready to go down pit road. And we have a caution. Did the 37 of Todd Kirkwood get into an accident? This will be our first caution of the night. Let's see if we can get a view of what happened with Todd Kirkwood. And he did get into an accident. What happened though? Oh, you see it right there. Oh, the 70 of Rob Whitmore did get involved as well. Let's take another look at that. As they come off turn 2, Todd Kirkwood, a little too much heat coming off the corner, hits the wall, goes up into the 70 of Rob Whitmore and spins it. Were any other trucks involved? As I believe everybody else went high as Todd Kirkwood went to the bottom line. Tough break for Todd Kirkwood, who's making his debut in the Truck Series tonight. Go back live, and we'll go look up front with Keith Haney. He's got to be happy that he stayed out, because that puts him still at the front of this thing, as they will be taking their pit stops. We'll see who comes off pit road first. And it does look like it's going to be Keith Haney. Off second is Brad Hicks, and then I believe it's Joshua Sousey. pretty good battle all through pit road for these guys, as the 82 of Bob Skinner looks to be taking some damage repair, as he's sitting there for a while. I'm not sure if Bob Skinner got a little bit of damage there. And now that pit stops are over, let's go ahead and get a word in with the owner, Paul Zoda. Paul Zoda, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
All right, well, you got 36, I believe 35 actually, laps of green flag racing. How's the truck out there?
Man, it's tight. It tightened up real quick, probably after about 8 or 9 laps.
All right, well, I've got to ask you, as the owner of Southern Motorsports, how does it feel to see 30 trucks registered out here tonight? 28 took the grid.
It's pretty good. It's scary at first because you don't know with this many people how it's going to be, but for 30-something laps green with all these trucks out here, I think that speaks for itself, man. These guys are doing a great job. Really, really, really good drivers.
All right, any shout-outs you'd like to give tonight?
I'd just like to thank you for doing what you're doing up there in the booth. Give a shout out to the guys that are here for the things that they do, man. And to get this green that long is great. I just wish I could have a better truck, because I think I got a 17th or a 15th place truck at best. So.
Hang in there and hopefully get the best out of it. And good luck to you, man.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good one up there in the booth. Hope we put on a good show for everybody.
All right, as we, I believe, are coming to the one to go, they'll start doubling up this time around. Let's go back up front with Keith Haney to see that pace car. And I'm not sure if Adam Baker was a lap down. He is getting the wave around this time around, so I believe we are on one to go. Pace car lights are out. We're doubling up. Keith Haney will be on the bottom side. Brad Hicks on the outside. And our top 10, as it sits right now, the 87 of Keith Haney will be in first. The 87 of Keith Haney, the 86 of Brad Hicks in second, the 81 of Joshua Sousey in third, the 18 of AJ Hamill will be in fourth, David Howard Jr. in fifth, Kurt Davidson in sixth, or excuse me, Kurt Davidson is actually in seventh, and Len McNeese is in sixth, David Gainforth in eighth, Daniel Haney in ninth, and Lupe Gonzalez has moved up from the back of the pack into the top 10 now. So we were talking earlier about Lupe making his charge in this race. He has done just that. Pace car will dip in, and Keith Haney will bring these guys to the line for another long green flag run. Green flag is out. Keith Haney looks to seem to be falling asleep there, as I think Brad Hicks stole one from him. Keith Haney does go back to the lead for the moment. I think Brad Hicks got away with a lead lap, as he's now dropping back that top line, doesn't have the run on the start. And we're seeing all these guys bunched together now. Great racing by this group. Joshua Sousey back in second now, and the 9 of David Howard Jr. will fall into third. And Len McNeese is back up near the front. The 84 of Len McNeese has the 18 of AJ Hamill right behind him. If you go back a little further, you have the 91 of Jim Locking battling the 46 of Shane Adkins, a member of DVS Racing. We got another caution. I believe Adam Baker was involved in that. Another quick caution. Let's take a look to see what happened, as this is our second caution of the night. Look to see what happened to Adam Baker. So we can get to the right camera. Oh, and it looks like the 14 of Stephen Bird. Go ahead and take a look to see what happened to Stephen Bird now. Stephen Bird wasn't on the outside. Oh, a little bit of, looked like netcode as the 89 Shane Pipolo was involved. 14 of Stephen Bird tries to lock him down, hits the 84 of Adam Baker, the 2 of William Lee involved. And it looks like 14 of Stephen Bird started to blink a little bit there. So we've got our second caution tonight. We'll go ahead and take a quick break, come back, and do another interview.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
All right, we'll see if we can get Joshua Sousey in the booth now to have a little bit of a chat with him. Joshua Sousey, you got a copy?
Yeah, bud, what's going on?
All right, well, it seems like you've been pretty patient out there tonight. How's the truck?
Pretty good. Just gotta try to manage it. It's not half bad.
Now we talked to Paul Zota earlier. It seemed like he was telling us that the truck was getting tight on him. Do you feel that the same way?
It definitely snugs up. You just gotta arc your corner and back it up a little bit more, and it'll be all right. But yeah, it definitely goes tight instead of loose.
Now, routinely, we do see you kind of hold off at the beginning of the race, and we actually see you run in the top 3 to 5 cars, and then we see it come on near the end. You got anything for these guys tonight?
I got a pretty good piece, but I don't know, that 87, he's real strong. I don't know if he just managed his tires a little bit better that first run, or what the deal is. But he had a little bit better line than me through 3 and 4, and I was trying to figure it out, but I held my own in 1 and 2 and gained on him sometimes. But 3 and 4, he has a pretty good line figured out there, and over the next however many laps here, 72 laps, that's what I got to figure out if I want to beat him.
All right, well, as we're getting ready, I believe we're on the 2 to go right now.
Yep.
All right, well, is there anybody you'd like to thank before we get to the 1 to go?
Hell yeah, man. I want to thank you for broadcasting, Paul, for the league, all my buddies on the console, watching you live on YouTube. That's pretty cool. Once again, give a shout out to my unit. I let one of my other buddies, Wolverine Gaming, I don't know if he's commented or not, but I let him pick out this paint scheme, so hopefully I can do pretty good for him tonight.
All right, good luck to you, and hopefully we see you in victory lane.
10-4, brother.
And right now, our top 3 is AJ Hamill, AJ Bunch. We'll go up there. As we saw AJ Bunch at the front near the start of the race. And we also see Joe Mitchell rounding out the top 3. And it does look like Billy Howard was the last of the trucks electing not to go to pit road. And South Sea Nation is live in the chat now. So we'll see. We had a pretty long run, the first stint of the race, and then we had a 1-2 lap run after that first caution. So we'll see if these guys can keep it green now. And hopefully we'll be able to stay out racing and see how long we can go again, as the 36 laps went by pretty quick before that first caution came out, and then we've had a lot of pacing since then. And you see Joshua Salsi back in 6th at the moment. Pace car will be dipping in, and AJ Hamill will bring him to the line. Green flag is out. Does AJ Hamill get the lap lead? AJ Bunch steals one from him. So we've seen 2 restarts. We've seen that outside line get the jump on the inside, then steal a lap, as AJ Bunch has got to try to get down as quick as he can. We've seen that bottom line, the top line, get killed on the restarts. Joshua Salsi pushing it 3 wide in turn number 1, getting around the 07 of Billy Howard, and he's got the 86 of Brad Hicks below him now, as Brad Hicks is kind of looked like he was boxed in there with the 54 of Joe Mitchell, as now Salsi's on the bumper of the 22 of AJ Bunch. He gets around Brad Hicks for the moment. That top line's getting a run we haven't seen yet, with Joe Mitchell on the bottom line. It does look like he is able to gain a little bit of space on AJ Hamill for the moment. And AJ Hamill didn't give Joe Mitchell any room coming up back onto the track, but we stay green, no issues. And this front pack is definitely being very competitive. Josh Salsi is trying to push AJ Hamill to the lead. And it looked like Joe Mitchell cut him off there a little bit. So now Salsi is stuck on the high side with the 07 of Billy Howard, as Joe Mitchell is out leading some laps tonight. This will be his 2nd lap lead. Just like that, we lose the field for the moment. Hopefully it comes back. There, we're coming back. AJ Hamill is still in front of Joshua Salsi, with Billy Howard and AJ Bunch right behind him. As we'll go back out front with Joe Mitchell, who's leading this race right now. First time tonight he's been leading laps, so great to see a new truck out there leading some laps. And he will be tied with AJ Hamill after this lap for, I don't know where that would put him in laps led, but our most laps led tonight is Pete Haney with 27. And Joshua Salsi moves into 2nd, passes AJ Hamill. And Billy Howard is hanging on back there, and so is AJ Bunch ahead of Brad Hicks, who led 14 laps earlier. Brad Hicks will pass him up going into the corner. Isn't able to hold on to it though. And Brad Hicks will take back over AJ Bunch. Let's go back and take a look at that battle, as they're side by side, or Brad Hicks is now side by side with Billy Howard. And Brad Hicks is moving up the field quick. And the other driver that Joshua Salsi was talking about, Keith Haney in the 87, is back in 9th right now. Looked like he must have had some damage or something, because he fell back to 9th after that pit stop, and he's got the 101 of David Gainforth and the 9 of David Howard Jr. surrounding him, with the 48 of Adam Baker behind him. He's actually got the 48 of Adam Baker and the 11 of Daniel Haney, one of his family members, right behind him. Joe Mitchell has put a little bit of time on these guys now. Go back out front with Joe, as he's got a 0.2 second lead. It doesn't look like he's able to hold on, as he was a 0.3 second lead a moment ago, and it does look like he has a faster corner than Joshua Soucy, but once they get to the straightaway, he is losing a lot of time. So we'll see if Soucy can catch up to him quickly and get some laps led tonight. But right behind Soucy, you got the 86 of Brad Hicks, the points leader out here, sitting in third place right now. And Brad Hicks was our pole sitter tonight, so he's got to be happy to be back up here after getting pushed back in the field to, I believe he was in seventh on that last restart. So being back up in third is great for Brad Hicks. Take a quick look through the field here. We'll go back up first with Joe Mitchell, who leads this race. Joe Mitchell started 9th tonight, has now led 9 laps, currently sits in first. Joshua Soucy started 6th tonight, has not led a lap yet, sits in second. Brad Hicks started on the pole, led 14 laps to start the race, and now sits in third. AJ Hamill started 7th, led 4 laps, and is now sitting in 4th. AJ Bunch started in 3rd, has 1 lap led, and is now sitting 5th. Kurt Davidson started 15th, has moved up to 6th. Billy Howard started 11th, and is now up to 7th. David Howard Jr. started 8th tonight, and currently sits in 8th. Keith Haney started 4th, led 27 laps, and is now sitting back in 9th. Daniel Haney started 14th and has moved his way up to 10th. David Gainforth started all the way back in 21st, is now up to 11th. Adam Baker started 10th tonight, now sits in 12th. And the 9 of David Howard Jr. goes way low going into that straightaway. But back to this, Jim Locking started 18th, now sits in 13th. Ray Williams started 18th, sits in 14th. Paul Zoda started 19th, now sits 15th. Bob Skinner started 2nd tonight, sits back in 17th. Lupe Gonzalez started 27th tonight, has moved his way up to 17th. James Haney started 23rd, now sits in 19th. Eric Talent started 17th and now sits 20th. Lynn McNeese started 13th tonight, has fallen back to 21st. Al Smith Jr. started 5th tonight and has fallen all the way back to 22nd. Stephen Bird started 22nd, now sits in 23rd. Shane Atkins started 25th, now sits in 24th. Todd Kirkwood started 16th and now sits back in 25th. Jay Dubuque is not on the track. Rob Whitmore is 14 laps down, started in 20th, now sits 28th. And we'll go back up with our leader, Joe Mitchell. And we'll take another quick break and be back right after this.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
All right, and we're back with 65 laps down. Should be coming to the 50 to go this time around. As Joe Mitchell still out front of Joshua Sousey. And since I do see it, shout out to Lazy Days Racing. They are the sponsor of the Xfinity Series tomorrow night, every Wednesday night here with Southern Motorsport. Joshua Sousey, though, is right behind, or he's actually 0.6 behind Joe Mitchell, and he's battling with Brad Hicks at the moment. As these trucks are starting to separate, as we're getting another long run here. I would expect to start seeing some pit stops here shortly. As we have 68 laps down now. Got another pretty good battle back here with the 9 of David Howard Jr. See if we can find him on the track really quick. David Howard Jr. has got AJ Hamill right behind him. And we did see the 11 of Daniel Haney actually pass up Keith Haney. I'm not sure if Keith is holding off, waiting for this race to get near the end of this race before he makes a final push. But he's been quietly holding back. Sorry about that, I had to take a step away, but we're back here. And Joe Mitchell is taking a second lead now with Joshua Sousey falling back. And I'm wondering if we're going to see Sousey come to pit road any time now. As I might have their pit run, or their fuel window, off a little bit due to those cautions, but we'll wait to see when we start seeing some trucks come down pit road as we're on lap 70, 45 to go. And it looked like the 9 of David Howard Jr. did make a pass. I believe it's the whole pack behind him too also made the pass on the 41 of Kurt Davidson. And now it's looking like he's got a little bit of damage, or he hit the wall, because Keith Haney is coming up on him quick. And Keith Haney did make the pass on Daniel Haney and Adam Baker. as now he's going to make the pass on Kurt Davidson. We'll go back out front with Joe Mitchell, whose lead, it looks like it's, oh, he's got the 07 of Billy Howard, who is 2 laps down. Billy Howard did already take his pit stop, so Billy Howard's got some fresher tires, will gain a lap back as he's trying to work around the leader. And he does get 1 lap back, so he's 1 lap down now. And let's see if he can hold off the charge of Joe Mitchell, who has a 1-second lead on Joshua Salsi at the moment. Brad Hicks, though, is right there still battling, or contently staying behind Joshua Salsi. And if we remember during the interview with Joshua Salsi, he was talking about he wasn't sure if he had anything for that 87 Sheen, but he's got to battle the 54, who has been out front now and has led 28 laps, the most laps of tonight. As we're now on 40 to go, let's go ahead and take just a quick run through the field. Joe Mitchell out front tonight. Right now is in first. Joshua Salsi in second. Brad Hicks in third. David Howard Jr. back in fourth. Keith Haney in fifth. AJ Hamill back in sixth. Adam Baker in seventh. AJ Hamill is coming to pit road, so Shane Pippola will move up in the seventh now. Kurt Davidson is in ninth, as this is getting all messed up now. Go back to Kurt Davidson, who is running ninth, and go ahead of him. Daniel Haney is running in eighth. Kurt Davidson ninth. Lupe Gonzalez has made his way into the top 10. Ray Williams is currently sitting in 11th. Jim Locking is in 13th, looking to go to pit road. James Haney in 11th, and Bob Skinner 12th. Lynn McNeese 13th. Eric Talent 14th. And Adam Baker is back at 16th and on pit road. Go ahead and go back out towards the front as these guys are taking pit stops. And see when our leader, Joe Mitchell, who will come down pit road, leaving the lead up to Joshua Salsi to get his first laps led tonight. Joshua Salsi now leads the race. He's got Adam Baker and David Howard Jr., who made a late charge here. And Keith Haney has moved up to fourth as guys are taking their pit stops. When will we see Joshua Salsi come down pit road? It looks like this time around. And the 9 of David Howard Jr. will come in a little bit late. Does he not get the black? I think he beat the cone, so he will not get the black flag as Brad Hicks is now out front, leading some laps. He's got 15 laps led tonight. And did Joshua Salsi get it? Joshua Salsi did get 1 lap led tonight, so he does get that important bonus point. I think we'll see Brad Hicks come down pit road and Keith Haney stay out to regain the lead. And Keith Haney now has 28 laps led compared to Joe Mitchell's 31. So we'll see how long Keith Haney elects to stay out and if he can stretch it just enough to make this his last stop of the night. As Keith Haney did get pretty lucky that last long run, as he elected to stay out a few laps longer than a lot of guys and the caution came out, so he was able to pit and keep his position. As we're now on lap 81 of 115.34 to go, Keith Haney out front leading Daniel Haney in second for the moment, and we have a caution. Keith Haney has struck gold twice tonight as the 07 of Billy Howard was down low. We'll take a look to see what happened to Billy Howard as we have our third caution of the night. Battling with Paul Zoda here. And it does look like somebody coming up the track decides to come up and pinches Paul Zoda into Billy Howard. That was the, I believe, 55 of, I believe it's James Haney. 55 is James Haney, pushed Paul Zoda up into the 07 of Billy Howard, who lost control and tapped the wall. Nobody else involved in it. Great avoidance by all the other drivers. We're on 33 to go, though. Keith Haney now coming down pit road. We'll see how many other drivers elect to come down pit road now. As a lot of drivers had already taken their pit stops and will be staying out. And actually, Keith Haney stays out. Or no, he doesn't. He is on pit road. So we had a very few amount of drivers coming down pit road, as the 70 of Rob Whitmore is coming off pit road at the moment. And Keith Haney will remain our leader here. As there was only there was only 4 trucks on the lead lap when that caution came out. So we'll go ahead and take a break here now, and then we'll get a word in with another one of our drivers.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Alright, and we're back with 31 to go. Let's see if we can get a word in with the 84 of the Icy Machine. Drove by Len McNeese, who is currently sitting in third. Len McNeese, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alright, well, you were able to stay out there long enough for the caution to come out and save you from going down pit road until that caution came out. How's the truck out there tonight?
Truck's been kind of tight tonight, so I've not been able to get it to get through the corners as well as I'd like to.
Do you have anything left in the tank as we come to 30 to go for these top 2 guys, Keith and Daniel Haney?
Oh, I don't know. They've been running pretty fast. I know Keith has already been pretty well out front a long ways, and Daniel and I have been racing back here kind of beside a few laps, and he's pretty fast. So I'd say both, either one of them, get a good shot.
All right, well, good luck to you in the last 30 laps. Hopefully we see you in Victory Lane tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Thanks you for up here in the booth up there, buddy, for putting on a good show for us tonight, and Paul and over here at Southern Motorsports for putting this races on for us.
All right, well, good luck to you, man.
Thank you, sir.
As we're now on 30 to go, these guys will go green with 29 to go. We should be done with pit stops, as I believe everybody who needed to take their pit stops has taken one. And up front, we got the Haneys. Keith in first, Daniel in second, Lynn McNeese in third. Stephen Bird has worked his way up to fourth. And I believe we have the 54 of Joe Mitchell rounding out our top five. All right, and we're on 29 to go now. Keith Haney out front, and I believe they just got the one to go. So let's go ahead and go up with Keith Haney. And pace car lights are out, so we're on the one to go now. And we still got 27 trucks on the field. Jay Dubuque has decided to take it behind pit wall for the night and will finish 28th. But we got 27 still on the track. Rob Whitmore, who started 14 laps down tonight, is currently sitting 16 down in 27th. So we will have 28 to go when we go green here. Because I don't know if they delayed the start or what happened there. But pace car will dip in, and Keith Haney will bring these guys to the line. Green flag is out. Keith Haney on the loud pedal does get a pretty good jump on Daniel Haney. Not sure what happened to Daniel as Lynn McNeese moves into second at the start finish. Billy Howard is mixed in with these guys. Kind of surprised we didn't see Billy Howard get pushed near the back, as Billy Howard is 2 laps down. Keith Haney on the bottom line though. Lynn McNeese right behind him. I know a lot of drivers didn't want to see Keith Haney at the front on this restart with 27 to go. So our top 3 now is Keith Haney, Lynn McNeese, and Daniel Haney. Daniel Haney able to hold on of the truck and pull it into third, as now Lynn McNeese is battling lap traffic. Keith Haney's able to put a little bit more gap on Lynn McNeese. Take a look back at Lynn, who is battling the 07 of Billy Howard, who is back in 24th, 2 laps down, and Daniel Haney right behind him. And then you have Bob Skinner making his way back up to 4th with Brad Hicks in 5th. We saw Bob Skinner finish, or get second place qualified tonight, and immediately drop all the way back, and he's back up front now. Great job by Bob Skinner. Brad Hicks rounds out the top 5. AJ Hamill, Joshua Sousey back in 7th. Stephen Bird in 8th. and Adam Baker in ninth. David Howard Jr. round out the top 10 for the moment. He may be able to pass Adam Baker. It's a tough battle there. Shane Pippola is also fighting to get back in the top 10. Now working on David Howard Jr. who let Adam Baker slip ahead into ninth. And behind Shane Pippola and David, you have Kurt Davidson, the 05 of Eric Talent, AJ Bunch, Lupe Gonzalez, David Gainforth, 13 of Ray Williams, and the 96 of Al Smith Jr. Go back up front. 23 to go, and the number 87 of Keith Haney is up front. Daniel Haney did pass Lynn McNeese into second, so we got the Haneys back up front with 22 to go. Billy Howard is trying all he can to get one more lap back. As we see every time, Keith Haney going to that bottom of the apron on the front side, and the Haneys have definitely done all they can tonight to secure a win, as right now they are 1-2. And then you also have James Haney back in 20th. To look back at the other Haney, James Haney. James Haney back here battling with the 99 of Paul Zoda and the 46 of Shane Atkins, who I believe round out are the last trucks on the lead lap. We'll go back out front on 20 to go. Keith Haney, they've still got Billy Howard mixed in there. And Bob Skinner has fallen back to 5th, with Brad Hicks taking over 4th. Now Brad is working on Lynn McNeese. Let's go ahead and take a look at that battle with Lynn and Brad. As Brad Hicks is still behind Lynn McNeese for the moment. We'll see how long that can last. Keith Haney is opening up a huge gap with a 0.7 second lead over Daniel Haney. And now Brad Hicks is going to go to the inside, try to make a pass on Lynn McNeese. It does look like Brad is ahead of Lynn for the moment. Does he get to the line before him and get scored as 3rd? Oh, that was close. I think Lynn got it though. So Lynn will still be in 3rd on that time around, as we're on 17 to go now. And behind them, Bob Skinner is quietly creeping up on them, trying to possibly pick off 1 or 2 positions and try to put himself back into the he's in the top 5, trying to give himself a better finish tonight, because the 81 of Joshua Salsi is starting to move up on him. Joshua Salsi is getting close to that top 5. Does he have what it takes to get around Bob Skinner now? Gets to the inside of Bob. and does crack into the top 5 for the moment. It looks like he's going to make the complete pass on Bob Skinner, but he's got Adam Baker behind Bob Skinner now. And it does look like Adam's going to the inside, trying to get around Bob. Doesn't have what it takes on the front side. 14 to go. Goes to the inside of Bob Skinner on the front, or on the beginning of turn number 1. Doesn't look like he's got a runoff. But he's got the 89 of Shane Pippola behind him. And Adam Baker will make the pass on Bob Skinner and move into 6th. Take a look back up front with Keith Haney, who's now opened a 0.8 second lead. With 13 to go. And it doesn't look like Lynn or Brad are catching up to Daniel Haney all that much, as they're still 0.2 back. As Daniel Haney's been battling that 07 of Billy Howard still. And Lynn McNeese is actually closing the gap on Daniel Haney a little bit. As everybody's going to work past the 07 of Billy Howard. And Joshua Sousey now is going to start working on Brad Hicks. As we're now on 11 to go. And Keith Haney has now led 52 laps. I don't think anybody else can catch him, so Keith Haney will have the most laps led tonight. And Lynn McNeese goes high for Brad Hicks and Joshua Sousey, who's now going to try to go under Brad Hicks. And Brad Hicks moves into 3rd for that lap. Not sure what happened to Lynn there. So we'll go ahead and take a look at Joshua Sousey. Moves into 3rd. Side by side with Brad Hicks, as they're going to start to catch the 11 of Daniel Haney here shortly. Joshua Sousey moves into 3rd for that lap. 9 laps to go though. Does he have enough to catch Keith Haney, who has taken a commanding lead here? Come now to 8 laps to go. Keith Haney, Daniel Haney, Joshua Sousey, your top 3. Brad Hicks and Lynn McNeese round out your top 5. And Lynn McNeese is actually now passed by Shane Pippola for 5th position. As they're still side by side for the moment. And behind them, you've got a whole pack of trucks trying to make a move to finish out the race. 8 to go. Adam Baker will lead that pack with Lupe Gonzalez right next to him, 7 to go. And David Howard Jr., Bob Skinner, or no, I believe that's AJ Hamill, lost control of it, was able to keep it green. And that'll most likely end AJ Hamill's night. Let's go back with Adam Baker, who's in this pack that's now led by Lupe Gonzalez. And actually, let's go up to Joshua Sousey, who is starting to make a run. It looks like he gave more time up. Or no, he's actually catching the 11 of Daniel Haney. So let's go ahead and take a look with Joshua Sousey, who has his eyes set on Daniel Haney and moving into 2nd place before this race is over. 6 laps to go. It's on the 54. Joe Mitchell down on the apron. As Joshua Sousey has closed the gap between 2nd and 3rd down to 0.2 seconds. And does Sousy have enough left in the tank to get to second before the end of this race with 5 laps to go, moving to 4? As Keith Haney has pretty much sealed the deal with a 1-second lead. As Joshua Sousy pushed the truck all the way down the track, does he beat him to the line? It doesn't look like Sousy beat him to the line, but will move into second and gets that bottom line going to the corner. Clears Daniel Haney, who now drops back to third. 3 laps to go. Does Brad Hicks have enough left to pass up Daniel Haney as well? As we got a caution, that'll end the race here tonight. Just saw the caution. I believe it was the 37 of Todd Kirkwood. As Todd's truck is beat up, we'll go ahead and take a look to see what the caution was. Oops. Switch the trucks on me. Take a look to see what happened to the 37 of Todd Kirkwood. And he did lose control, but let's see if we can get the bigger picture, see what happened. Oh, it looked like a little bit of net code as the 14, I believe, it looked like they made contact when they did not. So unfortunately, that'll probably end the race here tonight. Great racing by all these guys. Unfortunate event for the 37 of Todd Kirkwood, who got a little bit of net code at the end of this race. But we'll go back up front with Keith Haney, the winner of our race tonight. As the white flag is out, they'll go back around one more time. And Billy Howard is going to get one more lap back. Does that put him on? Nope. That puts him 1 lap down for the night. So we'll wait for everything to go official tonight. And then we'll do one more commercial break, come back with our interviews for the race. And then we will go over the results. As Keith Haney will bring it to the line one more time. He led 63 laps tonight. Great running by Keith Haney. Great running by all these guys to have 28 trucks come out onto the field, and I believe they only had four cautions tonight. It was great racing pretty much the whole race. It was a bad way to end a great race tonight, but overall, great race by all these guys. And with that, we do have the checker flag out now. So we will go ahead and take our last break of the night and come back right after this.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
All right, well, we have Keith Haney in the booth right now. Keith Haney, you got a copy?
10-4, I do.
All right, well, you lead 62 laps out there tonight. How was the truck?
Man, the truck felt good. The truck had tons of grip. After the tires wore off a little bit, you had to move up a line or two, but other than that, it was super racy.
Now, we have seen you at the front a lot here in Southern Motorsports. You finally get the win tonight. How does it feel to finally get in victory lane?
Feels like an accomplishment, that's for sure. These guys are tough, and my cousin Daniel, he had a great run. It was good to see him finish third tonight. So two of us got a top 3 finish.
All right, is there anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Well, just thank you guys for taking time out of your day to broadcast this race and for the world to see. And everybody out there watching tonight, thank you guys. Hopefully we'll put on a good show.
All right, we'll go ahead and celebrate your win tonight. I do not have where we're at next week, but do you plan to be out next week for the truck series?
Yes, sir, I will.
All right, well, hopefully we see you next week in Victory Lane. Till then, have a great night, man.
Yes, sir, Mr. Parks, you too.
All right, we'll move to our second place finisher, Joshua Sousey, who is in TeamSpeak. Joshua Sousey, you got a copy?
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, well, you start 6th tonight, lead 1 lap, and come out 2nd. You battled there at the end to get that 2nd place finish. How's it feel?
Satisfying as it is, it's really disappointing at the same time.
Did something happen on that last pit stop that pushed you back in the field?
Oh, no, just the caution came out right in the middle of the stops, and I got trapped a lap down, so I had to take the wave around. So that's why I'm like super proud. You know, I had older tires, and I was able to get all the way back up to 2nd, but at the same time, I'm kind of bummed out because if that caution had to come out, you know, maybe a couple laps later or not at all, I felt like I had a really, really good shot at winning this.
So, I mean, you do take the gamble to stay out, and it does pay off, sort of, for you. I mean, 2nd place, you got to be proud of that. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, definitely. My buddies, they all came over the messenger and told me good job, and you know, they thought I was going to get them and stuff. Their support means a lot. I'm really happy to have friends like that. You for broadcasting and everyone in this race, really. We had maybe 3 cautions, 4, I don't even remember, but that was a lot of fun. And I don't know if it's just the truck and the track, but I know a lot of it's in the driver, no matter what. So for the whole field to run like that and only have a few cautions, that was a lot of fun.
And I know that your schedule conflicts sometimes, but hopefully we do see you back out either tomorrow night in the Xfinity Series or following week here at the Truck Series. So hopefully when we see you again, we see you in Victory Lane. But go ahead and celebrate your second place finish tonight, and hopefully we see you back up here again.
I'll be here as soon as I can be here. I appreciate it, man.
All right, and we do not have our third place finisher, Daniel Haney, in TeamSpeak at the moment, but Daniel does start 14th tonight, comes out third, was sitting in second, was sitting in a pretty nice place after staying out until the second to last caution. So Daniel Haney does come in third. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of our field. Coming in fourth, Brad Hicks tonight, our points leader. In fifth, Shane Pippola. Lynn McNeese will round out in sixth. Adam Baker in seventh. David Howard Jr. will finish eighth tonight. Lupe Gonzalez comes up from the back of the pack. I believe he started 28th, finishes ninth tonight. Kurt Davidson will finish 10th. AJ Bunch will finish 11th tonight. Bob Skinner started second, moves back to 12th. Ray William will finish 13th tonight. Shane Atkins 14th. Jim Locking 15th. Stephen Bird 16th. James Haney will finish in 17th. Al Smith Jr. in 18th. The 101 of David Gainforth will finish 19th. Paul Zoda finishes 20th tonight. AJ Hamill will finish 21st. Billy Howard in 22nd. Todd Kirkwood will finish 23rd for Lazy Days Racing. Eric Talent will finish 24th. Joe Mitchell will finish 25th. William Lee will finish 26th. Rob Whitmore will finish 27th. And our last truck that took the field, Jay Dubuque, will finish 59 laps down in 28th. And with that, I would like to thank everybody who stopped by on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Beam. As we said at the beginning of the broadcast, we were live on all three platforms tonight. So once again, thank you for everybody who stopped by. Make sure to subscribe and follow on Twitch and YouTube. I believe it's follow on Beam. I'm still trying to learn that platform. But once again, thank you everybody who stopped by, and have a great night.